Hey, welcome. This is Robert. Hey, are you out there, my inventor friends? I'm some kind of lunatic who won't just take no for an answer or give up. So, yeah. All right. So I sent an invite to Cara and so many others. You can look at my window there. Well, all right. Looks like we've got Cara.
Hi. Can you
All
see
right.
me okay?
I
Oh, my
can.
hair's a mess. Sorry.
All right.
I was
Ah,
cleaning.
wow, we got it to work. I'm so embarrassed because I spent so long on the other one, just trying to get it to work.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. We all have to make some crazy mistake on Facebook, right? It's more fun that way.
There you go. All right. Um, so thank you for joining me. And Kara, I think you're up there in Colorado, right?
Yes.
Is it
Yes.
beautiful? Is it a beautiful
It
day?
is. It is. It's we're supposed to get rain, so it's gonna even be better than it was today. We need
All right. All right. So I want to thank you for helping me with my book, The Invention Women Inventors and the 7%. And if any of you are watching this, Kara actually proofread it a little bit and gave me some pointers and contributed it. So, women inventors in the 7%. Thank you, Kara.
Oh my gosh, it was my pleasure. It was an honor to be a part of it. I was like, okay, I'll be in it.
So, what's been happening in your world now? You have two inventions, right? And we went over that in the podcast. One is a is the cup,
Sippy Clippy.
sippy
The
clippy,
si- yes, the Sippy Clippy.
and the other one is the flusher blocker. But
Yes.
we only shared the the flusher blocker, and that's because the first 7 or 8 minutes of the video or the audio was kind of messed up. And I pretty much only want to share one thing on an audio podcast because people don't know what you're talking about. And if you start talking about two different things, they get lost. But
Absolutely.
but yeah, so why don't we talk a little bit about the sippy clippy since we didn't really talk about it on the podcast? Okay, yeah, Kara, what gave you the idea for the sippy clippy?
Well, I mean, so many times my son, when he was 6 months old, was throwing it and he thought it was funny, and it was not. It was annoying. So I tried buying everything on the market and nothing would work. So I wanted a big old hardy clamp, and I went out and bought a clamp, and then people were like, "Oh, that's a great thing. Where'd you buy it?" So I thought, well, I better invent this. So that's where it went. It's not. It's been almost 10 years since I've been working on the Sippy Clippy. 10 years. Um, it's not manufactured yet. I was in a licensing agreement that has dissolved, which is all good because something better is coming up.
Something's better coming up, just you think in the universe, or you got something that's actually on paper that's going to give you more money?
Well, I mean, I have my dreams and goals on paper, so therefore it's going to happen. So yes.
Okay. Now, I remember you telling me, and I thought it was a great story, that you were actually going to a convention and you met the person who's I guess not going to do it now, but who thought about doing it outside. And that's pretty interesting story. It would have been a magical story had he, finished the
It's
journey with you.
he probably will. Like he's still very, very interested. He wants to do this. It's more of the manufacturing side. That he was partnering with the manufacturer, and they, because of COVID, dissolved everything. And then he actually just reached out about a week ago and said that he's been in talks with Bye Bye Baby. So he's still very interested. I think it's just more of we just need to make it real on paper and not so much talky.
All right. I'm so excited because I went on Facebook Live with the group and just completely embarrassed myself like 3 times in a row. And I do appreciate April Mitchell, stepping up there and without a script, just dancing away and helping promote inventors in the 7%, because I said, hey, let's do this thing. And then it's like I couldn't do it on my end. And, I ended up using this phone and I'm looking at it and it looks great. Does it sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds great over here. What about my sound?
Yeah, your sound's good. It's weird but I guess the world is going to the phone more than the laptop. So that's cool. Okay, so are you getting back to the swing of things with the flusher blocker?
Yes. I've had a lot of sales. I know that when we talked on the podcast, but like they just keep coming in, and I don't know. I just posted my video with Bob and Chad on my website. So, and not that was today, but I don't know really still what the source is. I keep looking, and it looks like it's Google searches. So, but when I Google, I'm not the first person that pops up. I'm not on the first page. So it's really weird. If you Google Cara Brzezecki, I'm on like the first 4 pages, but Flusher Blocker, I think I'm on the second, which is not good. So I got to up my game on that one.
It's not surprising. I mean, I own Invention Stories since 2008. I own InventionStories.com. I've posted a lot of stuff to Invention Stories. I'm the host of the Invention Stories Podcast. I'm Invention Stories up the yin yang, but I'm not the first listed on Google for Invention Stories. It's it's a group in Washington, D.C. that have a museum, and I try to give them my invention stories. I'm like, I have 500 of them, and they just, I don't know. It's kind of like I've got cooties or something. They don't want none of me, but it's
well,
all right.
Now that you wrote a book, they want you now because like you're super legit. Like you were legit before, but now you're just super legit.
All right. Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence from you, Cara. So where are the flusher blockers being sold now? I remember you were not selling them on Amazon. Is that correct? Or you are?
No, I don't want to do Amazon. At least not for right now. I'm doing pretty good on Etsy and my website, so I don't know. I don't want to give Amazon. They already take a bunch of my money. I buy so much stuff. So no Amazon for me right now.
All right. Now we were both talking, and for those of you watching, I talked to Cara a little bit on Facebook, and she, you were saying that you really like Pinterest, and I like Pinterest too. But it's weird. I was talking to Marcy McKenna, and she's big on Pinterest too, and it was like, wow. But it's almost for different reasons. What was your reason for liking or wanting to do well on Pinterest? You said that you did a number of different modules or something.
Yeah. I watched a bunch of webinars. Like I'll have to look back at his name. I can't remember his name, but he sells a lot of his books using Pinterest, and he makes these bookmarks on Pinterest. And I started doing it like 3 months ago, and then Flusher Blocker took a hold. But yeah,
how did you do that? Do that again. You went. That's cool.
Yeah, so I think it's great for books. Honestly, I think it's a great medium for, well, products in general, but I need to dive. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I have ADHD. So like my brain is always going a million different ways. So I have a hard time focusing. So I need to pick like either Facebook, Instagram, and maybe one more and stick with three. I can't do all these because I end up doing nothing. So it's annoying. But I would,
But no, they say you should not try to do all of them. In
they
fact,
do.
I've heard some say that you should do no more than two. But if you use the same sort of video for Instagram, it seems almost like you could use the same for, LinkedIn, Insta. It's the same video concept, but I get it that it takes time because you're married and you have two children. Is that correct?
Yes.
Am I in
Yes.
full blown interview mode even though I'm doing it live? Isn't this kind of weird?
No, it's not weird. I wasn't expecting to be interviewed, so I'm hoping I'm spot on. I'm not usually great in the afternoon. My brain's already like, ooh.
Well, I
And I hope
notice
I'm helping.
you're holding your phone, aren't you?
I am because I didn't know it was gonna be like, I don't know. Like I'm already getting kind of hot and like, whoo, I'm on the spot.
No, I appreciate you doing that because, and it was on the spot. We didn't have anything prepared because otherwise I'd have you read out of Women Inventors and the 7% available
I
on
know.
at Amazon and on Lulu. You can go to www. And do you know how hard it is to say this? You feel so cheesy, but yeah, www.inventionstories.com/women. And that's a pretty link that'll take you there. It's only 99 cents to read it on the Kindle version for a limited time. But no, it is weird being like a huckster. You just gotta, I don't know. I think you get to a point in your life where it's like some things don't really matter. Like I've interviewed some really brilliant, especially women lately, and maybe if I were younger, I would be way too intimidated to interview them because they're so brilliant, so successful. I'm like, why would they want to talk to a slacker like me? But like
Oh,
this
whatever.
book, two of the women in there. I mean, there's Becca Brown. I mean, she went to Harvard. I'm not sure if I spelled Harvard, if I spelled it right, and you know, Monica Ferguson went to Georgetown and they met at Columbia Business School. I mean, if I went to Columbia Business School, they say, "Hey, get away from here. You don't belong here." That's all right. Oh, that's all right. But
Yeah.
because
Did
I'm
you
like, well, I
freeze?
realize that. What's that? Oh my gosh, Cara, you froze. Uh-oh.
Am I gone?
See
Are
if you
you there?
unfreeze.
I
Okay.
hope if I was frozen, it wasn't a bad. Was it bad?
No, it was a little blurry, but that's okay. I wonder why you froze.
It wasn't like
Oh,
one of those weird faces where you're like,
no. And for all of for the longest time, I used that my avatar with the long hair, which was really what my hair was, but I just cut it, and obviously you cut it too. But I think I cut mine a lot shorter. For those of you watching, say, I wonder why that guy cut his hair. Well, you know what? I think you're only young for so long, and then at some point you start going, "Hey, man, I'm not feeling as young as I used to be, but yeah, it's time to go." But what inspired you to cut your? Because you used to have super long hair, right? What
I
inspired?
did. I did. Well, I decided to go really, really, really blonde. I'm blonde, but like really blonde, and it fried my hair. And so when she was taking the stuff out, the ends were just seriously 4 inches were just falling off of my head, and I freaked out. And I said, "Well, now you have to cut it because it looks terrible." So, lesson learned: don't dye your hair like white blonde because it'll unless I just had a really bad. I don't know. Most people can't do it, but it fried my hair. So that's why I cut it because I fried it.
You tried it. Well, that's not a bad reason. Mine's because it's a little thin. That's not the coolest reasons. And I was interviewing an inventor the other day, and that person had what I would used to call was a senior moment. Which since I have them myself now, I just call them cool moments. And it's like,
Totally.
oh yeah, those are cool moments. Yeah, not senior moments. Can't be old. Because in our minds, we're all like 18 and everything. We're just
Totally. You call them Robert moments. I call mine
Rob,
Cara moments because, like, people know me and they're like, oh, it's a Cara moment. So you're going to have a Robert moment.
can I have a Robert moment? It's almost dinner time. The husband and the kids aren't clamoring for dinner.
The kids went outside real quick, and the hubby is on I think he either went to work out or bike ride. I don't know where he is. He's somewhere.
Well, I appreciate you taking your time with me. I really wanted to do this video so I could upload it really quick onto the group so they won't realize that I was just a complete buffoon all day and that I can do it and it can be done. I think it speaks to a greater problem that everybody has in general, especially when you don't know exactly what you're doing. And then you try to do something and it's like, well, wait, man, I can't figure out how to do it. And it could be something as simple as anything. Like, it's like a password. If your password's not perfect, it's not going to do any good. But I think just in general, like Facebook Live, I keep thinking this is a terrific medium for inventors and for entrepreneurs to get their word out. But if you talk to them, they're all like, I don't want to do that. I'm scared. I'm like,
Really?
well, look at me. I don't want to do it. Like, I got a face for, podcasting,
That's
So,
not true. Boo on that statement. I do not agree.
all right. But I do think that people do have a fear of, especially like, if I got something hanging out of my nose or something, it's going to be on the web forever. So I appreciate you saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I think over time, especially if we do this more often, I think you're going to see a lot of people. Is this the first time you've done Facebook Live?
No, I used to do it a little more. I used to do it like on Fridays because I washed my hair on Fridays. So it was nice. But I would do it on Fridays just to like give people updates on the Sippy Clippy, the Flusher Blocker, and my books. But I haven't done one in a really long time. I was on live with Sunny Leonard Doozy about a month or two ago, which was fun. She brought me on, and do you know who she is?
No.
Oh, she's amazing. She's a huge YouTube person. She like creates courses and I don't know. It was fun to talk to her and see her like almost real life, like interact with her. It was cool.
Yeah,
But no,
it's kind of fun seeing somebody on TV and then all of a sudden you're like talking to them, huh?
yeah. You get a little starstruck with everybody you talk to. Like, whoa, surreal.
I think I got that a little bit from Stephen Key, and then I was telling you, like when I see that he's called or gave me a message, I get like all excited. I'm like, all right, Stephen Key called, okay, or whatever.
Yeah, he's my
But
best friend.
but then he's really like cool. Like he's like I think a lot of these people, you think they're like could be whatever, and they almost every one of them. I mean, I can't even think of anybody who's a jerk, especially in the inventing community. He is super successful. Hey, of course I'll give you my time. Yeah,
Awesome.
inventors are great, aren't they?
The best. I have found some amazing friends in the community, and they always have your back. Like Dennis, I've talked about Dennis multiple times. He's always like he'll reach out, and I just think he's
With
so
the stow
cool.
and spin, he's still in
Yes.
ICU.
It's still what?
He's still in ICU.
He
Yeah,
is?
I did. I reached out to him today. I'm like, hey, Dennis, I haven't heard from you in a while, because I threw a post on there saying, hey, I mean, if you're in the hospital, all you want to be is not in the hospital. You want to be well.
Right. Yeah.
That's when things are real important is when you're in the hospital. It's like, oh, get me out of here. I don't want to be in here. He's still in the ICU. ICU. So
I'll say a prayer for him. That's
we gotta give him some love. But hey, look, I think we might have somebody who's watching. Look, one. That's cool. I didn't put this on the group. I just put it on my personal since, I didn't want to like do this again to our group. So, but I do want to go ahead and say thank you and cut it off. That way we can leave on a high note before we get all like, all right, we're tired of talking. What do we say, Cara? Oh, look at that. Somebody. Oh, that's Kevin Lane. What's happening, Kevin? Do you know Kevin?
See, he's a rock star. Like Kevin Lane, that's a name dropper right there.
All right. Do you know Kevin Lane?
I know of him, and I know that he's super supportive, and I love his castles. I had mentioned years ago, I was like, make them for Colorado, snow castles. And he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he already had the idea, I'm sure, but I was just super stoked. He's an awesome dude.
Well, yeah, no, he's actually, I don't want to say no. What I'm saying is, I think that he's got one of the smartest things I've ever seen. I mean,
Yes,
create a
yes,
castle in the
yes.
sand. I lived in Morro Bay for 14 years, man. Nobody knows how to make a sand castle. I mean, the professionals do when they have the contest. Then you're like, oh my God, dude, why are you doing this? But just in general, no, you got the guy who shouldn't be wearing a bathing suit or a little more suntan lotion and trying to do something with a pail. And he's like, yeah, no, I think he's onto something. But I was talking to an inventor today. Actually, I interviewed her, and I don't want to name drop her, but she's really super successful and brilliant. You know, like some people like brilliant. Like, how was school for you? Oh, I got straight A's. But you know what you realize is that they also try really hard.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Kevin. He's saying he's selling it now in Vail. Can you see these things or no?
No, I see nothing. All I see is you, which is good.
Uh,
But I mean, that's not bad. I'm glad I see you, but I don't see comments.
oh, okay. No, he's saying we now sell in Vail. How far is Vail from you?
Oh, that's not far at all. It's only maybe an hour and a half from where I live.
Okay. Do you ski?
I do.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. You do. Do you like go all the time? Do you
No,
do you get a family pass?
we do.
Yeah.
We do. But my husband is the best skier. Seriously, like he could compete. He's an amazing, amazing athlete at skiing, at everything, but really skiing.
Oh, okay. All right. Does it
Yeah.
scare you when your kids go skiing?
No,
Yeah.
no, they're super cautious kids. They're not crazy. Let's go jump off of a jump kid. So it's fine. They're scared. It's great.
They're scared. It's great. All right. Yeah, no, I notice a lot of people snowboard now as well. I've never snowboarded. I've skied, but it's been like 30 years or something since I skied. But it must be weird having two people, somebody who's really kind of into flying down the slopes and then somebody else is kind of going sideways and stuff. But I guess as long as you don't run into each other. Lots of great skiing in Colorado.
Oh yes, yes. I've never been to the east, so I can't speak for the rest of the country, but I'd say it's got to be up there, like compared to Vermont. I think it would be pretty good.
Okay. You didn't say compared to California.
Well,
California's
I've
got
never.
killer ones. You got Heavenly. The Squaw Valley now changed their name. I forget what it's called now. But, I mean, that's where they had the Olympics in 1960. Heavenly's off. There's like a ton that's when I was growing up, it'd be like, yeah, okay, let's go skiing. And we go to Kirkwood or something. And yeah, but I was like a lunatic. I was terrible, man. Skiing at Cara is the best of the best. Cara is in the best of the best places in Colorado, really. Even better than, yeah. Well, Colorado's a big state, but you're in the
I live
best of
in
the best.
Littleton. I live next to the
Better.
foothills. Like you can see Red Rocks, and where I live is beautiful. Yes, Colorado is beautiful, but it's dry right now. We need rain and snow.
Okay.
Rain and snow.
Yeah, it rained here for like 10 minutes today.
Us too, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Is it smoky? Did you see smoke or anything?
Not too bad today. It's gotten better since the California fires. We have a new fire up in Frisco right now, though, which just started last night. So we're supposed to get snow up there. So hopefully we get a lot of snow and put that fire out.
That'll work. That'll work. Kara, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to have a successful East Coast skiing. Doesn't have the pow like Midwest and West Coast. I never think of you being in the Midwest. Because when I think of the Midwest, I think of the plains. I'm like, what skiing is in the plains? But no.
I consider myself like, yeah, like mountainy West.
Yeah.
Is that something?
I would like to see I would like to see my ski suit, Robert. If anything, I like your socks. I would crack up. Oh well, I appreciate that. That's Jeff Patterson. Oh my gosh! All right, Jeff Patterson. He used to. I bet he's still doing Frito-Lay, man. All right, Jeffrey. Thank you for your comments. I used to wear cool socks because they used to have us wear a uniform and, stifle my creativity. I gotta tell you, I used to sleepwalk while I was doing Frito-Lay, and that's probably why I was, not working for Frito-Lay now. But, it's just 'cause you got up at 2:30 and you'd be like half asleep going as fast as you can. But
Oh
that's
my
why
gosh.
I like to interview inventors, because that kind of got that other part of the brain going.
Yeah, you need to be stimulated all the time.
Yeah.
No
All right. Well,
sleepwalking.
yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm not sleepwalking now, but
Nope.
appreciate you being on there. So, what good books have you read lately?
Well, of course, The Women Inventors, duh,
But
by Robert Baer.
this is how bad I am. I didn't have you read your passage. That would have been cool. But
Oh,
I'll have to have you on another time. So we'll finish up on a high note. Thank you so much, Cara.
of course. Thanks for having me on.
All right,
Have,
and I'll
have a
see
good
if I
night.
can talk to you. I'll sure have a good night, and I'll see if well, we'll see what happens.